We started off looking for hyena, or rather some of the tracks from last night, found hyena tracks. We've just heard an incredible commotion. This hyena has been in a bit of a fight with a pack of wild dogs, and I'm going to leave there for now. I wanted to see, I want to catch up with the wild dog. They're not far, they actually were making their way towards the den, the hyena den. One of the dogs, two dogs still here, one quite an old floppy eared dog, really blocked with vegetation. There's got a dog straight through there. Welcome to Djuma. I know this is a different start to our average start, but we very seldom get the chance to have okay, we got to get to the try and get around up to that. I don't think so. I think this is just a hyena wild dog altercation. Sorry, Andrew, but try and get around trees and go any which way I can. Still running at about 12 o'clock. Yeah, but keeping up with a pack of wild dogs that are around a hyena den, very close to a hyena den here on Djuma Game Reserve, and there are just animals running all over the place. Trying to get to see at least one of the individuals if I can. Be quiet to try and hear them. From coming? Yeah, where you now? Okay, copy. Did you see them cross the road? We're already crossed out of Djuma. I'm trying to get oh, sorry. On Yellow Road South last night. Okay, the problem with an intense encounter like this is that it happens fast and it gets taken over a variety of places. The hyena den is just off to my south to the right of me, and we're just going to have to try and find something on the roads. We might have Mark, by the way. Andrew's clinging on at the back there with the bumps that we've been going through on camera. Nikki's back in final control. I don't know, hopefully we're going to be able to find something, but there, to recap, there is a commotion between a pack of wild dogs, and it seems to be quite a large pack. I don't believe I've seen this pack. I might have, but there was one dog. Their ears don't flop over, their ears are always erect. Looked like the one that was running back. Yeah, it looked like it. They'd be able to defend themselves better in the den, because then it's just faces that are sticking out with very, very strong jaws. One vehicle was saying they were heading south already. The original plan was to go and have a look to see where the 2 male lion went, but I guess that's what happens when one plans things. Wants to know if the wild dog would kill the hyena cubs. Yes, they would. They would kill a hyena adult if they could. They were attacking her quite severely. I didn't see them attack her. I just saw her in a bush with her rump on the ground, sticking her head out. It was go back towards the dam. I guess we might end up soon. We will go to the hyena den and have a look. Although with this commotion, they probably got those cubs deep in the den, and of course they're not going to be coming out for any time soon. Beautiful morning, very crisp, very cool. We had a little splash of rain yesterday, which has made it quite damp, and so there's some very fresh smells this morning rather than the dust that we've experienced the last couple of weeks. We are heading into our dry season at the moment, well underway. This is Treehouse Dam, and let's keep moving. Right, so they have been found parallel to us. Oops, bumping. So they've left the hyena alone. They've just been picked up on the main road, which is just south of us, and we'll head around to try and catch up with them. Yeah, Mark, yeah, I'm at Treehouse Dam. I'm going to make my way around to Gary Main. As two different predators encounter each other, there is always a chance of conflict. Very often there are times when they would rather not have a confrontation because of the risk of injury, but there is always the numbers game. If they're more of one and less of the other, then there's, yes, they can count to some degree, that if there's a chance to eliminate your competition, then you do so. So if it's numbers or a strength game, then sadly things can escalate very quickly, but they can also subside just as fast. So far from what I'm hearing, there are 9 dogs. Let's try Bum Road. How far west are those Madats on Gary Main? They might already have come past Spum Road. It does become emotional, especially since we know these hyena, and we know that there are youngsters that do and can do to survive. Is, well, it's just in their favor. I would imagine that the hyena defended the den pretty well, because it didn't seem that the dogs paid any attention to the den. Seems they mostly cornered one individual.
I think they would eat the hyena.
I don't know. Interesting. Strangely enough, there have been a couple of photographs recently of lion killing hyena. There was one, I think, from Lion Sands, if I'm not mistaken. I've got something ticking in the engine now. And now, then there was also, I think, people mentioning on Twitter, I can't believe how quickly they disappear. Well, I mean, look, if this guy who was on the radio is correct, they're so far west of us already, while we've been driving around that area. I see tracks on the road now. They're extremely fast, these dogs. Look, the vehicle has stopped. Station with my Dutch, can I join you? Thank you. Now we'll get a better picture of who this pack is. Any through the station's copy? How's it? Morning, I've got a Colombian Dutch heading towards Triple M Gary main corner. This is the economical run. There's the floppy-eared older dog up front. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's trying to bite the tire. Come, puppy dog. Oh, it's half-tail, that's who it is. So this is the half-tail pack. Okay, my Dutch are now heading up Triple M. Okay, copied. There are 3 vehicles in the sighting at the moment. Looks like it's got a little bit of a... Our station's my Dutch on Triple M heading north. Looks like they might be turning back into Djuma. At the moment this is on WildEarthTV channel. They're rolling in something. It could be the something's hissing. I'm seeing about 12 of them now. This pack that's known as half-tail. Okay, just watch it with the vehicles in frame. I know it's difficult to fit. Okay. And I think that, folks, is going to be the last we see of them for now. Morning. Okay, I'll just be a couple of more minutes and I'll give you a gap. Okay, we are now on Arathusa, and so there are going to be a number of lodges and safari vehicles that would like to view the dogs. Now you see, wild dogs are very, very special because being a somewhat endangered species, or not somewhat, they are threatened, they are endangered. They're on the IUCN list, the red data. With this beautiful light, can't get too far ahead of the dogs, and I'm also going to have to allow the vehicle behind me a little bit of a chance. Okay, seems to be bye. Mona, you want to take over that block? I'll let's make space for others. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Bob, thank you. Morning.
Have fun. How you doing?
Epic.
It is beautiful light for it too.
Yeah,
Bye bye. Watch for the rain. So, a nice, exciting to the start. They're probably going to get to Arathusa waterhole, so I'd advise people to keep an eye open for that. Hold on a sec. Mark, your go. Breaking up. Can someone relay? I'm only copying about 1 out of 5. Okay, that would be a good thing. Thank you. I'm behind you then. So we get to stay a little bit. Guys are being very courteous. I also do need to just check on something in the engine once we get through this morning. it's a leapfrog because they're running along a road that is quite narrow. We've got quite heavy combretum, which is bush willow. All the yellow that we're seeing is mostly the bush willow, and there's a little bit of round leaf teak as well. Now they seem to be slowing down. That's quite an old dog, this half-tail. It's known as the half-tail pack. You can see him standing there now. He's just lost a little bit of the tip of his tail. Go ahead. Sam, morning Sam, in Ohio, of all places. Why would the dog's ears go floppy? Probably an age thing. Cartilage. Morning all. So, heading north now. They're picking up speed now. Yeah, the dog's right up front and now taken on a much faster pace, and these dogs at the back will maintain a sort of quite an economical trot energy wise, and possibly pick up speed as the dogs up front start tiring if it goes that far. And see every now and then one of the other dogs up front stopping to wait. Looks like a fairly old individual at the back. Just let me know when first standby is ready to come in, I'll pull out. Thank you. Thank you. Now, for those of you who are new to what we do here, we have a very limited ground that we can cover. We're broadcasting live. We're now on property known as Arathusa Safari, and we've crossed probably about a quarter of Djuma, quarter of Gari on the way here, and very soon these dogs are going to actually be on the other side of this property when we're going to have to leave them be if we're not going to move along before then, because other vehicles will be coming to view them. But one of the reasons why we don't get to see them as often as we would like to see them is because of this kind of behavior. I had a look at the way that one dog was defecating earlier, and it was very dark and very runny, which means very high blood content meal very recently. And that tells me that they must have maybe sometime during the night or very early this morning must have maybe made a kill.
So they're rubbing the dung to mask their smell?
Yeah. Or just to smell like everything else.
Yeah.
Looking at something. Come on, child, off you go. You're lagging behind. Old character. You can see, maybe not as hard to tell age. And seem to be heading straight towards Arathusa's dam. Oh, suddenly picked up speed again. Probably now coming into the front dogs are probably coming into the open area. They are so spread out and they're really on the trot now. Just the two older individuals here at the back. See Halftail up front with his floppy ears. Looks like the packs are onto something now, because these two older dogs hanging back like this. And yeah, they come back again. They must have gone after something. Everyone's listening. You can hear Kuru barking. Very good chance that there's a leopard around here somewhere.
I think
They're coming back again.
service from last week again, stand by. We've got 3 logs merging, stand by for us. It's the logs that moved apart that we can carry. There'll be 4 more birds on the finish.
How Sid? How you Sid? Good and you, bud?
Man, good. I think they're going to cause some rain, yeah, cause some yeah.
Well, they did cause us something.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, they went in and came out again. Good luck. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for letting me stay and enjoy the sighting. Good question from Blair in New Zealand, wanting to know if halftail is the alpha male of the pack. I don't know, I would think so maybe. I don't really know this pack. We've seen them a couple of times. The problem is I don't get to see much more than this kind of behavior. We did have them one day when it was raining. We had them sort of in the really northwestern corner of northeastern, northeastern, I guess. Whereas we had them up on Gari and they were all curled up, and they eventually went deep into the bush because the rain was coming, and then we had to leave because of the rain. So we didn't get to see much of the interaction between them. I'm guessing, since he's probably the oldest male of the lot, I'm guessing that maybe he is dominant male. Seems to be the oldest. Oh shit.
We got it.
Kom zo.
Pollution land man.
Dit is met een amor.
Dit is met een jaar.
Ja.
Ja, wat is het van
Ah, wala wat ding.
Hier is Rwanda.
Ja.
Maar dan I wanna say Louis Rice is not telling me
I think Cedric's going in.
Yeah, I'm going to join him.
Cool. Bye. The way it works with dogs is you do only have one alpha pair, the alpha male, the alpha female. Here they are now. Still happen to still with them. Who is with my dad? No, I just got some of the pack here, but I'm not seeing any of your movers. Down towards the pump house, I think. Affirmative. Confirm. Seems that maybe they must have turned around on these guys. Okay, thanks. And Madash are now heading towards the dam, same spot where it's the breakaway was this 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Going to drink mine. There are dogs everywhere. I want to try and get to the water. Sorry, little one. I sort of get ahead of them. They're right here where the Salalas were the other day, the breakaway pride. Most of the dogs heading down into the open place where we saw the lion. I wonder, they're probably smelling the remains, since they are such perfect olfactory creatures. They know how to do things with their noses. So they can probably smell. You see, lion, they made a kill here, there would be a lot of lion dung around as well. So there's caution on the part of the dogs. Very lucky that they must have turned around, and the vehicles that were with them must have carried on heading in the direction that they were heading, not knowing that they must have turned around and gone off in a different direction. Quite wary, because there's clearly scent and smells of the lion that were here. They've been trotting for quite a while now, so no doubt they are thirsty. Alright, we've got to go, I'm afraid. We are not supposed to be here. Okay, I'm out. Okay, I'm out. Sorry, guys. We had officially left the sighting, and unfortunately we had left the sighting, but then we found them again, so I just had to wait until. I know it is a really beautiful sight. I'm hoping that maybe you'll be able to see them from the camera, but I guess I can buy in the fourth vehicle here when for the other guys to get here. I know it's sad. We've had a very, very good time with them. And a very long time with them. It's sad that they're now in this most beautiful of places, drinking water, great camera opportunities. But these are the rules that we all have to follow, so that we don't stress the animals out too much. And excuse me, I'm just talk to. Sorry, Nikki, go ahead. unfortunately I'm not getting you at all. Wait until I'm up on towards the airstrip, and then maybe we'll get better reception there. Sure. Let's go and see the airstrip. Although, while I'm close to the lodge, I need to check something in the engine quickly. I'm going to head up here and stop. Every time I switch off, there's a hissing sound. I need to make sure that we're not going to overheat or anything. Just need to be far enough away from other vehicle traffic. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. There was a message that there's a plane landing pretty soon. Can't really go into the airstrip right now. What time is that plane coming in on Arathusa? Sure. Talking over everybody. Okay, copy, sorry. So, excuse me, time to check under the hood. No, not allowed to put him on camera. He hasn't signed a release. It stops as soon as I get here. Not seeing anything. Okay, no immediate danger. I've got to make sure that we're not going to be in here. We're pretty close. It's going to be a plane landing in about the next 5 minutes, so we can't get to the airstrip right now. We'll do something else. Maybe we'll do a loop around while we're here at Arathusa. Go up to Central Road. But I think it's a leaf or a stick that's touching the pulley. There's a pulley, one of the V-belt pulleys. Oh, dwarf mongoose in a dead log. That's quite cute. I wanted that one to pop its head out of the hole again. Dwarf mongoose. Looking a little bit fluffy this morning because it's a little bit cool. There's a head popping out of a hole. Heads and further up as well, Andrew. On that big, oh, it's gone in. That bigger knot. This is quite cute. And these little children popping their heads up. Okay. Reading a bit better now, thanks. Hello Maggie in Vancouver. Maggie is asking if the wild dog are looking for food or they're moving from one place to another. It's a little bit of both, Maggie, that they're multitasking at the moment. That is what they do. They move from one place to another, and and I'm going to move just a little bit so we've got a slightly better angle for them. Really quite a cute sighting, this a little bit more sedate from the excitement of earlier this morning. They pick up a trot, they move from one place to another, and in the process they will hunt anything that they come across if they have the opportunity to. It's only really once they've had something to eat that they're likely to relax and lie down to digest food for a while. Nancy, morning Nancy. Nancy's in Reno wanting to know, the dog left behind at the back of the pack, will it eventually be left behind? No, Nancy, not likely. They are a very tight-knit pack, and they will eventually wait for it. When they're moving very, very fast, it's when they're chasing something, and then they'll slow down, and you'll see sometimes where they mill about and they roll in dung and they sniff about, and that's normally so that the pack can regroup. A lot of the time while they're moving, we're moving, and we don't hear the subtle sounds, the subtle communication sounds between the individuals that keep them in contact with each other and let them know what's going on. Susanna wants to know how fast they can run. Do I have any idea how fast they can run? I don't, Susanna. I don't really, it's hard to clock them. But probably around 50 kilometers an hour. I mean, but that's at the fast trot. They're rather a fast sprint. They generally have a very economical trot that doesn't take up too much energy or doesn't consume too much energy. But I've never been one for numbers when it comes to animals. Cars have speedometers, so you can tell how fast cars are going, but when it comes to animals, it's a difficult thing there are always obstacles in the way. I guess if you had to have them on a racetrack running in a straight line, probably not as fast as a greyhound, but still they small, lithe, skinny dogs, and they can pick up quite a bit of speed. Kathy or Patty, Kathy I think in Tennessee, would Wild Dog take on kudu or nyala or impala? What is their preferred? They will take on anything up to a wildebeest, Kathy. Any animal is up to the size of a wildebeest, including kudu. They're known to take on zebra, although I have to be honest, I've seen more zebra chasing wild dog than wild dog chasing zebra. Zebra don't tolerate wild dog because wild dog will go for the foal. Gorgeous little animals, these mongoose in the morning. Not getting a very clear signal, but Virginia is asking if they're nomads. They are pretty much, but they do have a home range. They're not so nomadic that they will range over, say, the whole of the Kruger National Park, but they do range over a very, very large area that I guess you could say for a dog becomes their territory, because they're constantly marking and they're constantly defecating, and you very seldom get 2 dogs in any one area, you do get overlaps of home ranges. I've been very lucky in the past to have 2, sometimes 3 different packs overlapping. And even here we get this pack, which is the half-tail pack, and then there is of course another smaller pack of, I think, 5 or 6. Sorry, I was laughing. This one little mongoose, the one now that's just popped its head down that hole, it was coming out, and then it decided it needed to reverse back in, but it couldn't get a grip because of the smooth wood. Let's see if it does it again. Its feet were slipping, its hands. Life expectancy of a wild dog. That's from India, from Raja in India. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Raja. Life expectancy of a wild dog, probably around 10 years old. They're going to come out again and going to slip again. Those claws. Now you have a dog in India, Raja, that's very similar to, or it's the Indian equivalent of our wild dog. What are they called? Question for Raja in India. And where do you find them? And are they as threatened as our African hunting dogs? They're like little bear claws, those feet to them, the paws of the mongoose. Okay, let's move along. The family is very vigilant before they go out foraging for the day. Elizabeth wants to know if these mongoose really eat snakes. Yes, they do, Elizabeth. These are the dwarf mongoose. They'll eat smallish snakes. They'll mob a larger snake and possibly collectively kill a larger snake. And of course the other species of mongoose will do too. We get the banded mongoose. They are known to take on even cobras, puff adders. Did you ever film the meerkats with snakes?
Didn't really have any instances. A lot of the time they just ignored the snakes.
Yeah?
Once they identified it, then they just ignored it. They didn't actively go and try to kill them.
That's interesting. Hello, little kudu ball. Young kudu ball. Those wild dog are now way off of the property. Lovely young kudu. There's one of the mums. She might be better on this side, Andrew. This is the little boy that ran across the road. Oh, very shy. Just going to stand behind the gorry bush. Sure. I think what we'll do is make our way around past Arathusa Dam again. Maybe there's some birds to see, or hippos or something. Maybe some animals coming down, and then make our way back to Djuma, back to Gari, and see what we can find back home. But I don't really want to go the other way because there was a plane supposed to land. Going the other way would have to. We might end up sitting and waiting for a plane to land and then take off again, because we would have to come along the airstrip any other way. Let's go this way. Take the next road. The radio has calmed down considerably since the wild dog have left. I've been looking into the two suns, both one in the sky and the one in the water. Not much here there. It'll take a while, but we can head out to the hyena den on our way back home this morning. Might be late already with the sun out and a lovely warm day ahead of us. They might be still in the den, or might have gone back in the den. They might not have even come out. The incident with the wild dog. The reason why, also another thing I forgot to mention, was earlier on this morning, the little dog around almost crossing the road just above us, coming down towards this road. The vehicles of the wild dog sighting passed vehicles that were in, there wasn't a leopard sighting, but there were a couple of vehicles that were out here tracking the big male leopard that lives here. His name is Tingana. And there was one moment that the wild dog went off into the bush, half on something. I think Cedric was hoping that the wild dog would tree the leopard. But since they might have, with all the activity of the wild dog, obliterate leopard tracks. Of course, that means that it's hard for them to now pick up on where they last had the leopard. Well, his tracks at any rate. But he might be somewhere in here. Tingana, big male. Gula's rival. Think we come in? Oh. How's it, guys? Good, no luck.
Nothing's gone.
No, I'm Konzo.
No, I mean, that leopard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. We don't see where it's already disappeared.
From all the cars and the Madach.
Huh?
From the movers and the Madach moving.
Actually, we find them there, but general reaction was coming this way.
Yeah.
So I hope he already crossed before my Dutch came in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to try on next road.
Alright, I'll
Let's see
try.
if nothing tracks that side.
Good
If
luck.
nothing,
There's nothing you can do.
no, we'll leave it. Yeah.
Good luck. There's the plane now. A Pilatus. Just enjoy flying in a Pilatus. Quite a fast little turboprop. PC-12. I think it might have just taken off again. We might have missed the landing. Oops. Did you have it?
For a split second, yeah.
Oh. Elephants, where are you? I didn't promise. I didn't say the word promise. I might have said the word try, or I might have used it in a sentence, I'll try my best. I might have also said I hope so. When my LE radar gets, then I can promise. Sounds like I might not have radio comms with Nikki, but I've also got a so much now on the radio. I think we should be able to turn that down now. Aha, there it comes. Not a Pilatus, it looks like a King Air. That's a King Air. So that's quite a fancy little plane. We're going to 404. Sorry, okay, I've got you back again. Back on top of the ridge. Just doing a couple of loops. I wonder maybe there's... I know, I remember in all the places I've lived outside of South Africa, always had to... The only way people get in and out is by plane. Yeah, of course it's different. There are other alternatives to small planes. But up in East Africa and in Zambia and Botswana, the only way in and out of camps is with small planes and Cessna 206s and 182s and 172s. Used to be the norm. Nowadays they use a Caravan, a bigger, for me it's a big plane, it's about a 14, 16 seater. But there's always a battle to get animals off of the airstrip. I just saw something moving in that tree. Here in Matanda Lukapan. Might have been mistaken. Must have been. I guess now that we're here, we'll carry on this road. sometimes when there's a noise, a strange noise, or the sound of an airplane landing, you might have animals that are on the edge of an airstrip, and when they hear something they want to come out onto the open to see what it is. And you have planes that have to circle a few times while rangers or staff get animals off of the airstrip. Interesting plane. So might be some giraffe in our near future. If the tracks on the road or anything to go by, not very fresh. They do seem to be heading northeast.